What's up guys, it's Malik back here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 best LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars sets ever made. So guys, these are just some of the sets that I thought stood out from the LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars sub-theme. And all these sets are kind of based off my opinion. These are just the sets that I'd recommend you'd buy right now if you can still find them on store shelves. And the way I kind of chose these are just based off their story arcs in the actual TV show, the minifigures they include, and the actual builds themselves. So because of that, you might see some smaller sets on this list that don't have such great builds, but they still include some really memorable and awesome figures, and because of that, they'll be included in this list. So yeah guys, without further ado, let's get right into it with our first set here. This is the Republic Fighter Tank. This is one of the OG Star Wars The Clone Wars sets. It was released all the way back in 2008. This set only included 2 minifigures which were pretty basic. It was just 2 Phase 1 clone troopers that we got in a bunch of different sets. But the main thing I liked about this set was the build itself. The Republic Fighter Tank isn't seen that much in the actual films, but it does play a big role in some of the video games such as Battlefront 2. And I remember using this vehicle so much playing on the maps like Kashyyyk. And honestly, I just thought this was a really memorable vehicle, and it was a really great vehicle to add into your clone armies. For those of you guys that build massive clone armies, this was a really versatile vehicle and one that you really needed multiples of. Now, LEGO actually has made this set a couple times before. We recently got one a couple years ago, that set with Aayla Secura. But to be honest, I prefer this one a lot more. I think the scale is a lot better, and it includes a lot more pieces, and just overall looks more accurate. And it also looks a lot more bulky and built up, just like a tank should be. Overall, it's a really great set that I really regret not picking up all those years ago. But if I could go back and pick this one up, I definitely would. And at our number 9 spot, we have Vizsla's Mandalorian Fighter. Now this set actually is a combination of great figures and a great build as well. The figure selection here is really awesome. We get Obi-Wan and Vizsla. We've never gotten him in another set before, so this was the only way you could buy him, which makes him pretty exclusive. You also get a regular Mandalorian there, who is pretty awesome. We actually got a battle pack of Mandalorians, so it's not that special to get this figure here, but again, it's just something nice and extra to have. But while the figures are great, that's not even the greatest part about this set. The actual Mandalorian fighter here is just a really awesome vehicle. It's seen so much in the Clone Wars and in the Rebels TV series as well, and this is the only time LEGO has ever actually made one. Not only is it such an iconic ship in the actual series, this ship also has such a great and iconic design as well. It just looks very unique, and the way it lands and everything is just really awesome. And LEGO executed that pretty well in this brick form version of the fighter. Honestly, I really hope we get a remake of this set, maybe in a Darth Maul version, because we do see Darth Maul flying around in his own version of this ship as well. That'd be pretty cool to see. But overall, it's a really great starfighter with some great minifigures as well. At our number 8 spot, we have the Umbaran MHC, which is an abbreviation for Mobile Heavy Cannon. This set is another one of those cases where it has a really awesome build with some great minifigures as well. For the minifigures, you get Ahsoka Tano, a Phase 2 Star Corps Trooper, and then 2 Umbarans. Of the minifigures here, the Clone Trooper is nothing that special. Getting Ahsoka here is really awesome, although she's included in another set which we'll get to later. But I think the really special part about this is the Umbarans themselves. The story arc of Umbara in the Clone Wars series is one of my favorites in the entire show. And because of that, it made fans like me want to collect these Umbarans. That way we could have our clone armies going against these Umbarans and recreate those awesome scenes from the TV series. But this is the only way you can actually get these figures, so that made this set really desirable. And not only was it desirable because of the minifigures, you also get this Mobile Heavy Cannon, which was seen a lot in the episodes, and was a really versatile and destructive force in the series. When the 501st and Captain Rex were taking it on, it was really awesome to see it in action. So it's really great to get it here in LEGO form as well. I have a really heavy bias toward the Umbaran invasion story arc, so because of that, you're going to be seeing a lot of sets in this list based off of it. This is just the first one though, but you will be seeing more. And yeah, that's going to do it for our number 8 spot. At number 7, we have the Republic Frigate. This one has a great selection of minifigures, but I do think the build steals the show here. For those minifigures, we get 5 of them here. We get Commander Wolf and a Wolfpack Trooper, and we get Eth Koth, Quinlan Vos, and Master Yoda. The minifigures in this set were really awesome. Commander Wolf is a really awesome clone trooper, and it really kind of sucks we didn't get a version of him in his Phase 2 armor. But this is one of the only official Commander Wolves we got in LEGO form, so that made the set pretty desirable. The other Jedis in this set, Quinlan Vos and Eth Koth, I'm not too big of a fan of the characters in the series, so because of that I don't really have too much of an attachment to them. Getting Master Yoda is also nice, but he's included in many other sets. But the reason this set is so awesome is because of the Republic Frigate itself. It's a really nice design and build here. It is also a pretty large set as well. LEGO doesn't usually give us many big battle cruisers like this. Like, you never see big Republic attack cruisers or big Separatist attack cruisers, which is really sad to see. But when LEGO gives us these big attack frigates like this, it makes them even more desirable just because you never really get them. And these vehicles are also extremely versatile. They don't just have to be used in situations of the Clone Wars. You can use them pretty much at any time in the Star Wars storyline, because they were seen a lot, whether it be in the Clone Wars where they were used heavily, or in the Galactic Civil War as well, where they could be used by the Rebels or something. It's just a really awesome vehicle to have, and I thought LEGO did a great job with it here as well. Overall, this set is a really great build with a really nice complementing cast of minifigures as well. At our number 6 spot, we have the Z95 Headhunter. This one you might see is based off the Umbaran invasion as well, and I do think the minifigures kind of steal the show here. I do like the Z95 Headhunter, don't get me wrong. It's a really awesome build, a really unique fighter, and I think LEGO did a great job with it here. It has a really basic and real world design, but I think that carries out really well in the Star Wars universe and just kind of stands out just based on how basic it looks compared to everything else going on. And because of that, it makes it a really awesome looking ship. But the real reason this set is even on this list is because of those minifigures. You get 3 minifigures in this set. You get a 501st Clone Trooper, a 501st Clone Pilot, and then Pong Krell. Getting that regular version of the Phase 2 501st Clone Trooper is really awesome to see. I really wish we got a battle pack or something like that based on these troopers, because I think the 501st is one of the most desired clone legions when it comes to LEGO minifigures. And this set really gives you some variety when it comes to the 501st Clone Troopers as well. This is the only way you can get the 501st Clone Pilot. He's actually exclusive to the set, so that makes it really desirable. But then getting Pong Krell in here is just really awesome. For those of you guys that haven't seen the Clone Wars Umbaran Invasion story arc, this might be a bit of a spoiler, so you might want to skip ahead. But Pong Krell is kind of like the bad guy in it, and he's always treating the 501st Clone Legion really terribly. And at the end, it's revealed he's like a bad guy. He's actually working with the Sith. Even though he is killed at the end of the episode, I think the character had a really nice run for the small amount of time that we saw him. He was a really interesting character, kind of showing us the point of view of a Jedi who is converting into being a Sith. And that's not the only unique part about this character. This guy had 4 arms and then 4 double-ended lightsabers in those arms as well. So this guy was just like a complete badass running around destroying everything. And it's really great to get him here in LEGO form. I think LEGO did a great job with the figure as well. But yeah, this set is pretty much made by the minifigures here. But you also get a really nice starfighter as well. And we are now halfway through our list. At our number 5 spot, we have the Mandalorian Speeder. Now this set is completely carried by the minifigures. While the Speeder is pretty nice, it is an okay build. It is pretty wide and does have a lot of room in there to seat figures and whatnot. It's just nothing really that special, but the minifigures here really steal the show. You get 2 Mandalorians and then Darth Maul. The main figure that makes the set so desirable is Darth Maul himself. This character had an amazing run on the Clone Wars. Seeing him take over Mandalore was just really awesome. I'm really glad they actually brought Darth Maul back. I think it added so much depth and levels to this character. It was unbelievable. And it was nice to see him return on Rebels as well. But looking at this figure here, I think it looks absolutely awesome. He actually does have a dark saber and his red lightsaber as well, which is pretty cool to see. And one of the coolest parts about this figure, he actually has those big robotic legs, which are actually exclusive to this figure as well. He kind of really did need them because in the show, he just always has those legs around. So it just made complete sense to give him those, and this figure just looks really awesome. I know a lot of fans, such as myself, desired this figure as well. Hopefully we're going to be seeing him in another set. We do get Darth Maul a lot, but I do like this version of Darth Maul from the actual story arc where he's taking over Mandalore and everything. And that's not even the only awesome minifigure in this set. You get 2 other Death Watch Mandalorians here. And I'm going to let you guys know right now that I have a huge bias toward Mandalorians. I've always been a fan of the way their armor looks and just the way they are and everything in the Star Wars lore. So because of that, I've always wanted to collect many different variants of Mandalorians and get just as many cool looking ones as you can. And I think these are some of the coolest versions of Mandalorians that we've got in LEGO form. The dark red and gunmetal gray just looks so nice here. Their legs look a little bit bland, but that can be fixed by swapping them out with some other figures. But overall, I just really like these 2 Death Watch troopers. They look really awesome. They're really awesome in the TV series, and they're really awesome here as minifigures as well. But yeah, just this lineup of minifigures really makes this set, and I think it allows it to earn that number 5 spot on this list. At our number 4 spot, we have the BARC Speeder with sidecar. I don't know if you're supposed to pronounce it like BARC or say B-A-R-C. I don't actually know, so let me know down in the comments below. This set actually has a pretty nice build. The speeder and the sidecar are pretty cool. The way it's built is actually pretty nice. And the way you can flip around the sidecar and everything works pretty well as well. The speeder is actually really well built and well designed. Although it's a little bit out of scale in my opinion, I think it's a little bit large. But I do think it still works. You also get that speeder for the commando droid as well, which is pretty awesome to see because usually in sets you don't get things for the good guys and the bad guys. Usually you have to go out and buy another set to have 2 different vehicles to go against each other. But you kind of get everything in one package with this set, and I think that's pretty cool. But the build is not really the best part about this set. The thing that definitely makes this set is the minifigures. You get 3 different minifigures here: a Commando Droid, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Captain Rex. The Commando Droid is not that great. We get him in other sets, but it's nice to get him in this set as well. Getting Obi-Wan in his updated outfit is really awesome. I don't even know if he's included in any other sets. But I think LEGO did a great job recreating the robes that he wears later in the Clone Wars TV series. It's just a really nice way to get a fan favorite character in a small set. Speaking of fan favorite characters, you get Captain Rex in this set, who's actually wearing his Phase 2 armor as well, which is really awesome, and this figure is just outstanding. LEGO did a really great job with this figure. They have so many details, from the tallies on his helmet to the small lines that carry out on his chest and helmet as well. Overall, this figure is just really well done. He includes his own exclusive pauldron as well, and the figure just looks really great in minifigure form. And Captain Rex is such a fan favorite character from the Star Wars The Clone Wars TV series, and we don't really get him that often in LEGO sets. And I think this is definitely the best version of Captain Rex that we've gotten in a LEGO set. So because of this Obi-Wan minifigure and Captain Rex, this set is at our number 4 spot on the list. Alright guys, so now we are at our top 3 sets here. At number 3 we have the Malevolence. This set includes some pretty okay minifigures, but I don't really think this set is about the minifigures at all. If you want to pick up these minifigures, you could definitely buy some other smaller sets and get all of them for way less money. But the reason you'd be buying this set is for the ship itself. The Malevolence is a really great build. It was really awesome in the Clone Wars TV series. The episodes it was featured in were pretty cool, and I love seeing the ship in action as well. But one of the main reasons I think this set is so desirable is because LEGO doesn't really give us a big separatist cruiser ships. Like I mentioned before, LEGO just doesn't give us those big cruiser ships in general. So when we do get something close to one just like this set, it makes it really desirable, and it makes a lot of people want to pick this one up, such as myself. I really hope LEGO will one day give us a separatist attack cruiser set, but until then this is the closest thing that we have, and because of that I really recommend this set. If you're a fan of the Clone Wars and the Separatists, then this is a must-have set. It is also a great build as well, and includes many nice play features as well, especially with the rotating flick fire missile feature. I thought that was pretty cool, and it was implemented pretty nicely as well. But overall it's just a really nice build, with a great cast of minifigures as well, although you could get those minifigures for cheaper. But it's nice to see some really awesome minifigures included with this nice set as well. But that's going to do it for our number 3 spot. Onto our second best LEGO Star Wars Clone Wars set of all time. And that is going to be the Republic Dropship with AT-OT Walker. Now guys, I want to say I had a really hard time deciding whether this should be number 1 or whether the number 1 set should be number 1. And I'll explain why when we get to it. But looking at this really awesome set here, this set is just absolutely massive. You get 2 really awesome big builds of vehicles here. Because that the set was really expensive as well, it cost around $250 and was only a LEGO exclusive as well. So because of that, it was really hard to obtain for many people. Getting the minifigures out of the way, which aren't really that special in this set, there's 8 minifigures, one of which is a clone pilot and the rest are just regular clone troopers. I think that's actually pretty awesome though. You can build nice armies out of them. Looking at the dropship part first, it's very similar to other dropships we've gotten before from LEGO, except now it's gotten rid of the entire hull of it and now has the ability to grab onto this AT-OT Walker. And I do believe it's able to grab onto the AT-TE as well. One of the coolest parts about this gunship is that it actually uses some power functions parts, which is pretty nice to see because it allows the arms to grab onto the AT-OT really securely. And then I think the AT-OT is even better than the actual dropship. We only saw the AT-OT briefly in episode 3, but I do still think a lot of people wanted to see more action from this vehicle. And this is the only time LEGO has ever actually made it into a set. I really hope they remake this vehicle because I really want one in my collection. It is pretty much just a gigantic troop transport, but it is still really awesome. The build kind of just looks like a stripped down version of the AT-TE, but that's pretty much what it's supposed to be, and I think they did a great job with it here. This vehicle just looks really awesome, and that paired with the awesome dropship as well just makes this set super desirable, even though it's super exclusive and super hard to get. I think this set definitely earned its number 2 spot on this list, and I definitely recommend picking this one up if you have the opportunity. So guys, now we are at our number 1 spot for the top 10 best LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars sets ever made. And based off my opinion, I think that number 1 spot goes to the Coruscant Police gunship. Now this set is an awesome build with an awesome complement of minifigures as well. It's a pretty unique vehicle that we get to see in the Star Wars universe because it doesn't have such a military design to it. It's pretty much their version of a police car. And it's really nice to get these more civilian-like vehicles in LEGO form here. And I hope this actually motivates LEGO to make other civilian vehicles that we get to see in the Star Wars universe as well. But looking more into this ship, it is such a unique design. I really like that front cockpit. The red just looks extremely intimidating. And it also kind of reminds me of something out of the Blade Runner series. I also like how when you lift up the set, the fins come down and really make it look like it's in flight and just looks really awesome. You can also store figures in the back as well because it is kind of like a dropship. But yeah, it's a really nice build, but I gotta say the minifigures are even better here. You get 4 minifigures here, you get 2 shock troopers in their phase 2 armor, and you get Ahsoka and Anakin. Starting with those shock troopers, they are super awesome. Ever since we got that battle pack that included one shock trooper all the way back in 2005, I think it became a really desirable figure for LEGO Star Wars fans to have, and seeing it here in this updated variant is just super awesome. I think LEGO did a great job with the prints and overall design of this minifigure. We do get a lot of Phase 2 clone troopers in the Clone Wars line, but I do think the shock troopers are some of the best they've ever made. The shock troopers are also some of the most badass looking clone troopers in the Star Wars universe as well. So getting them here in minifigure form is just super awesome. Anakin in his updated suit here is pretty cool to see as well. You do get him in some other sets, but it's nice to see him included in this set. And one of the main reasons I like this set so much is because it includes Ahsoka in her updated suit. You can actually buy her in the set with the Umbaran MHC, but I do think the episodes this set is based on do drive this set so heavily, because I do think the Wrong Jedi story arc is one of the best stories ever told in the Star Wars universe. It's actually my favorite story arc from the Clone Wars in general. I thought it was super well done, super deep, super meaningful, and I've just watched it so many times since it's come out, and it still has that really great emotional impact. I just thought the episodes were awesome for that story arc, and are definitely the best Star Wars The Clone Wars episodes ever made, if not the best Star Wars TV show episodes ever made. Ahsoka is also one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe, and I think that was one of the best storylines that she was included in ever. And this is actually the only set we've ever got based on that story arc. So because of that, this is what I think is the best LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars set ever made. And yeah, there you guys go. There's your look at the top 10 best LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars sets. I just want you guys to know this set list is based on my opinion, so your own list might vary from mine heavily, and that's completely okay. But I also do want to know what your top 10 LEGO Star Wars The Clone Wars sets are. So before you guys leave, make sure to go let me know down in the comments below. Let me know how you'd rank these sets, and let me know if you agree with my list or disagree. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed watching this video as well, make sure to hit that like button. And if you guys want to see more top 10 LEGO Star Wars lists, make sure to subscribe to my channel where I got a bunch of other videos just like this one, such as the top 5 Last Jedi sets that need to be made, and the top 20 rarest LEGO Star Wars minifigures of all time. So if you guys want to see those, go check those out as well. And yeah guys, that's pretty much going to do it for me, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.